Good day, everyone. For this video lesson, our topic is all about business loan and consumer loan. The learning objectives for today's video lesson are the following. Define business and consumer loans and differentiate business and consumer loans. These objectives are based from our most essential learning competencies in general mathematics. These are the following. Illustrate business and consumer loan and distinguish between business and consumer loan. Are you ready for today's lesson? Let's begin our lesson with a story of best friends, Bessie and Connie. I want you to listen very carefully, and I want you also to analyze the situation of Bessie and Connie in the story. Afterwards, I'm going to ask some questions pertaining to the story. So the story goes like this. Bessie and Connie are childhood best friends since elementary. Even their parents are also friends and treated each other as family. The two girls went to same school up to college but of different courses. Connie took up architecture while Bessie got into business administration. But even though they were not in the same college, they see to it that they still have time to each other, especially at times that they need someone to lean on and a shoulder to cry on. Because of their dedication, hard work, and innate intelligence, there is no doubt that both of them graduated as cum laude. Bessie and Connie have big dreams. They are dreaming not only for themselves but for their family. The Filipino culture of close family ties was very evident among them. One day after graduation, Bessie and Connie talked to each other and discussed their plans. "Hi sister, how are you today?" Bessie said. "I'm good sister, how about you?" Connie asked. "I'm also fine sis," Bessie said. "So what's our plan sis? Now that we graduated from college, it's our turn to help our family," Connie asked. "Yeah, I'm planning to expand our family business so that I could practice my degree and at the same time I could help my parents," Bessie said. "That's a good plan. Well, I also want to practice my degree in architecture. That's why I want to build a new house for my family. I want to give my parents their dream house," Connie replied. "We really have big dreams, sis, but we are just starting. How can we do that?" Bessie asked. "Well, my uncle is working at North South Bank and they offer loans that we can pay while working with our plans," Connie explained. "I think that is a good idea, sis. We will be working hard to make a good payment for that loan and at the same time, we could start with what we are dreaming of," Bessie said. The next morning, Bessie and Connie went to the bank to apply for their loans. After talking to the bank manager, accomplishing all the forms, and submitting all the requirements, their loans were approved. "How is your application, sis?" Bessie asked. "It's okay. They asked me for a collateral, and I submitted an income tax return and a bank statement. Then they gave me 10 years as the term of my loan at 6.5% annual interest," Connie explained. I see. Well, I was also asked for a collateral, so I gave the title of our house. They also require the owners of our business, who happen to be my parents, as guarantors. I was also asked to submit credit report, income tax returns, and our business financial statement. They only gave me 5 years to pay for my loan at 10% interest rate," Bessie also explained. Even though they applied for different loans, Good thing that it was both approved, and the two promised to make the best out of the money lent to them to start their dreams. Okay, that's the story of Bessie and Connie. Did you enjoy it? I know you suddenly miss your best friend. We can all relate to the story of Bessie and Connie. We all have big dreams that one day we all can fulfill. Now let's talk about on the latter part of story wherein Bessie and Connie decided to loan from a bank. Who do you think among them applied for a loan easier? Why do you say so? That's right. What were the requirements asked for the approval of their loans? So in the latter part of the story, when they went to the bank, they applied for a loan and submitted some requirements. What are those requirements? And in what way do you think Bess's loan is different from Connie's loan? Do they have the same reason in borrowing money from the bank? Now, do you think applying for a loan is good or bad? In your own opinion, let me see. And lastly, if you will apply for a loan, what will be your plan so that you will never fail in paying it? That's right. Plan before you apply for a loan. Planning before borrowing money is very important. Whatever the purpose of your loan, may it be for business expansion like Bessie, or for just building a new house like Connie's reason, you should always have financial plans. Integrating the lesson from one of the ABM subjects, which is business finance, one of the topics that they have is all about financial planning. What is financial planning? Financial planning is a step-by-step approach to meet one's life goals. A financial plan acts as a guide as you go through life's journey. Essentially, it helps you be in control of your income, expenses, and investments, such that you can manage your money and achieve your goals. So basically, it's a step-by-step process, step-by-step approach. It is a guide when and where you're going to spend your money. So, why do we need financial plans? What are the benefits of financial planning? Basically, there are different benefits of financial planning. So, I only listed here 4, which are increase your savings, enjoy a better standard of living, be prepared for emergencies, and attain peace of mind. So it's really important when we do financial planning. The story of Bessie and Connie is not just about the story of best friends. It also talks about the 2 different kinds of loans, which is business loan and consumer loan. Now, let us define business loan. Business loan is money lent specifically for a business purpose. It may be used to start a business or to have a business expansion. The business loan includes microloans, invoice financing, mezzanine financing, bank loans, asset-based financing, cash flow loans, as well as business cash advances. Everything that you will loan, and the purpose of this is just simply business. This is what you call business loan. This is an example of a business loan. Andrea, who recently finished a short course on hair and makeup, is planning to put up a small salon. She decided to borrow money from a bank. So the situation shows that the money will be spent in putting up a small salon, which is a small business. Now let's let's talk about consumer loan. What is a consumer loan? Consumer loan is money lent to an individual for personal or family purposes. Consumer loan includes credit cards, mortgages, home equity lines of credit, refinances, auto loans, student loans, as well as personal loans. So if you're going to loan for personal or family purpose, that loan is called consumer loan. Let's take a look at this example. Raj is an environmentalist who is planning to conduct a mangrove planting at Barangay Ivara. He will cover all the expenses for this activity, but he realized that his money is not enough, so he borrows some money. So the money that Raj borrowed is for his personal purpose, which is for his own advocacy. So this simply illustrates a consumer loan. Now let's talk about the differences between business and consumer loan. Business loan may require collateral, such as real estate, other investment, equipment, fixtures, or furnitures. For consumer loan, it may also require a collateral. So both of them, business and consumer, may require a collateral. And what is a collateral? Collateral are assets used to secure the loan. It may be real estate or other investments. Connecting to the story of Bessie and Connie, so what is the collateral used by Bessie? So that's it. The title of their house. So it's a collateral. Now, in the story, for Bessie, it requires a guarantor, while for Connie, she doesn't have any guarantor. So basically, Bessie is under business loan, which requires the business owner to sign as a guarantor, while for Connie, it does not usually require a guarantor, so it is a consumer loan. And what is a guarantor? A guarantor is a person who guarantees to pay for someone else's financial obligation if the borrowers fail to do so. The next one is about the term of the loan. It is the time to pay the entire loan. How do business and consumer loan differs from each other? So for business loan, it's just a shorter term. So for consumer loan, it can be a longer term. When it comes to interest rate, business loan has a higher interest rate, while for consumer loan, it has lower interest rate. And for the documents, what are the needed documents? So we have seen that or heard that in the story of Bessie and Connie. The documents needed for a business loan are the following: credit report, income tax returns, and the company's financial statement. While for the consumer loan, the borrower may require a credit report, bank statements, and income tax return. If he or she is employed, a certificate of employment and employee pay slips will be submitted. Okay, that ends up the differences between business and consumer loan. I know you already know the definition of business loan and consumer loan. You already know the differences between the two. Now, it is your time to do an activity. So, let's do this. Identify whether the following illustrates a business loan or a consumer loan. Are you ready? For our first statement, Mr. Manzano plans to have a barber shop. He wants to borrow some money from the bank for him to buy the equipment and furniture for the barber shop. This simply illustrates business loan. Very good. Now let's proceed with the second statement. Marga is planning to take up engineering as her college course. To support Marga, her parents borrowed money from the bank for her financial needs. So this is consumer loan. Are you still with me? So here's the third statement. Mr. Bonifacio wants to have some improvements on their 100-year-old ancestral house in Quezon Province. He wants to repair the ceiling in preparation for the rainy season. He will borrow some money from the bank to finance this plan. So what do you think? Is it business loan or consumer loan? Yes, that's right. It is consumer loan. The fourth one, instead of working as a manager in a certain company, Mr. Santos decided to leave his job and put up an internet cafe instead. To finance his business, he borrowed money from a bank. What do you think? Business loan or consumer loan? That's right, it is a business loan. The last but not the least statement. Are you still with me? In preparation for the online learning of her children due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Mrs. Castro decided to buy laptops for them and got an internet connection. But she is short in budget. She decided to borrow money amounting to 80,000 pesos for this school preparation. So obviously this is consumer loan. Very good. Did you get all the answers correctly? Now, at this point, I want to check what have you learned from today's video lesson. What have you learned? Let me see. In your own words, I want you to complete the following statements. Number 1, business loan is a money. Number 2, consumer loan is intended for. And number 3, collateral is. Before I give you your homework, let's go back to our learning objectives. Will you able to define business and consumer loans? Will you able to differentiate business and consumer loans? I think that's it. And this is now your homework. For your homework, you will be given 3 options. You only have to choose one. The first option is make a 4-panel comic strip showing a scenario in a bank where one person is doing a business loan while the other one is consumer loan. The second option is write a short story of a family who applied for either a business loan or a consumer loan, showing how they struggle but, in the end, become successful because of the loan they got. And lastly, make a short jingle or a rap illustrating and distinguishing business loan and consumer loan. Please include all the differences between the two. You will be graded according to the following rubrics: content 25%, originality 25%, organization 25%, and creativity 25%. Total 100%. That's all for today's video lesson. Remember, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail.